entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Joe Alsabrook with Mindset Over Everything. Mindset Over Everything, the podcast. Thank you so much for listening. If this is your first time hearing us, welcome to the episode. We've got a lot of other episodes out back in the old shed. You can go check them out and check out the other content. If you resonate with the message and what's being said, the only thing we're going to ask was two things, right? The two only things we're going to ask is just bring someone with you. Share it with somebody you feel might resonate with the message too. And don't just share blindly. I mean, the worst thing you could do is just put me on a social media news feed and not say anything. The best way to do that would be to say why you liked it, why you listened to it. And the even better way would be to personally refer me to somebody you know that listens to podcasts. It's in the same kind of vein that you're in right now. If you're going to resonate with it, think of who else is like you in your circle and your friends. All right? That's one. That's a big one. Number two, review. If you're listening to me on iTunes or whatever platform, you can just give me a review, rate me with the 5 stars if you like it, if you love the content, tell people why. That helps me grow. That's what helps the podcast grow. So, today's episode, you're going to see me looking down a few times here at my old trusty dusty iPad. Most of the time, I don't write a whole bunch of scripts to these. I just, have the topic, I work it out in my head, and we go with it. But today, I'm going to read this, and then we're going to go with it, okay? So, I was having a social media conversation the other day, and it says here, Andy Ace is the guy I was talking to, and he said, the thing I struggle with is taking that final step beyond the threat of failure, that invisible wall, the end of the lifeline you're holding on to, that if you have to let go of it to reach the next one. As someone who struggles with a paradigm of fear, I'd love to hear your take on breaking that barrier. Wow. So, I mean, think of the words just the individual's using right now, right? We got paradigm of fear, the invisible wall, the threat of failure. That's exactly where I think a lot of us are. I think a lot of us, and I know myself, I struggle with that. That's that resistance. You'll hear me talk about resistant thoughts. That's that resistance that I feel sometimes. And I think it's a great topic here today. We talked about, I told him, I said, hey, great topic. I'm going to definitely do an episode on this. And it's not just that one, this is another comment he said, there's not just one step or one jump. It's not like when you jump in the pool and learn to swim, right? You're jumping into a raging river of uncertainty, and now you need to figure out as you go. It takes a particular mindset to do that. A mindset that doesn't just need to be found, but maintained, right? I'm going to put this down for a second. But I think that is a perfect topic for today's episode. And I think that, that's where we'll start. We'll start with fear. All right, by show of hands, who out there is afraid right now? Well, afraid of what, right? Who out there is struggling with fear right now? And what is that fear? And why is it? Well, if we talk about what Andy said, he has the threat of failure, right? But why? So when you were a little kid and you were afraid of the dark, right? Was that because you saw a monster jump out and eat someone right in front of you when it was dark? Is that because you've had a scary clown pop out of your closet and attack you in the middle of the night? When you were afraid of the dark, when you were a little kid, right? What was the reason? And then when you grow up and you grew up, what did you realize? When you learned more about your fear, what did you realize? The monster is right there, right? I think it's the same thing with this. There's no difference, right? If you're struggling taking that leap, right, that next step past failure, because you failed, and the failures are lessons, so you've learned, right, and you've had a lot of lessons along the way. I don't care who they are. No one, Warren Buffett, and none of them are going to tell you that they don't fail. They fail every day. They still lose. They still fail. But it's what they do with those and the reaction to the mindset that takes place. So go back to the fear. That fear, that scared moment, right? It's no different than when we were little kids, when we were afraid of the dark, afraid of the boogeyman. It's no different. There is no fail moment. Put it this way. You're not going to just sit there and let yourself fail. You're not going to sit there and just let yourself not win. You're not going to let your family starve and be out on the street. Now, are you going to face some financial hardships? Yes. Are you going to lose money? Yes. Are you going to have to invest money that you might not even have and wait longer than you want to or can before you start getting a return? Yes. Right? But let's take that outside of just going all in and 1099 in your career, right? Let's take that to your job that you have today, that this is your career. Your career is in the job you have right now. What are you afraid of there? Have you asked for that raise? Have you put yourself in the position for that promotion? Are you prepared? Have you worked on your mindset to make sure you find the positive in every situation? Do you give credit and take blame? Do you remove your ego from the situations? See, what I'm getting at here is if we work on controlling this, we're going to be that little kid who grows up and realizes there's no monster, there's no boogeyman, there's no scary clown hiding in the closet. And if there is, well, I've got a gun under my pillow. I'm prepared. I've learned. That's where you are at right now. If you're not willing, or if you're frozen in that step of just taking that next step beyond it, what has happened every time in your life that you did? Have you ever taken that step and then fallen off the cliff and then splat on the ground? And even if so, look at where you're at right now. You're still kicking, you're still breathing, you're watching this. So you must care. You must want to improve, right? I mean, it's called mindset over everything. Right? So you're here to learn. That's taking the step to getting that development. That's taking a step to see, am I wrong? Does my mindset need to be fixed? What does this guy have to say about it? Do I relate with his message? That's a search. You're actively searching for development and trying to get better right now. So what are you afraid of? If you're telling yourself, remember the story from the Origins episode? And if you haven't heard it, you're not there yet. If you're telling yourself, I'm not there yet, I'm not ready, and I'm not prepared, how are you hearing what you're saying? Because even though you're saying that, I don't think you're hearing it right. This is what I think you're hearing when you're selling yourself with the doubt and the I'm not there yet and I'm not ready. You're hearing like I'm not ready as if I'm not good enough to get there, to be there. I don't have enough, right? Instead, you should be listening to what you're trying to tell yourself. You're not there yet, but you're gonna be. You're not there yet, but you can be. You're not there yet, but you're continuing to try to get there every single day, and that's how you get there. You never get there by stopping. You never get there by quitting. It's the continual, perpetual moves forward, the persistence. Now, follow this. If you put your passion into your purpose, you're going to be driven. If you put your passion into your opportunity, you're going to be driven to your purpose. If you put your passion into your opportunity, you're going to be driven to your purpose. No matter what opportunity you pick, putting your passion into that and everything you have to develop, get better, be the best, excel, is going to drive you closer to your purpose. You cannot pick the wrong opportunity as long as you insert your passion into it. The only time the opportunity is wrong is when you half-ass it, when you half-step into it. So, what are you afraid of? Are you afraid of choosing the wrong thing and wasting all of your time? That's not what you do. You don't waste time. If you were ready earlier, you would have been there already. So what are you waiting for? The only thing that's taking time is you and the mindset to get there. The rest of it's there already. You just have to get there. You're never going to get there until you decide to not stop moving until you get it. Period. Take that, let that sink in for a second. And we just talked about fear and getting frozen in it. Well, how can I be frozen into something that I don't believe in? So I choose to not believe fear doesn't exist. The monster and the boogeyman, they don't exist. So if I don't believe they exist, how can that ever stop me? Work on that mindset. Get yourself ready by working on your development, by doing what you're doing right now, by reaching out to someone else and hearing some information, accepting the information, then applying the information. And work on those little things every day. There's a lot of great episodes already. There's going to be more to come. I talk about the art of accountability in the very first one. It's the art of accountability because it's something that you create. We talk about it like a canvas. Folks, I'm going to be here to help you along the way. If you're afraid, if you get struck with that fear and that's, I don't know, I can't take that next step, there's a ton of ways to get a hold of me. That my phone number's listed on Instagram, on Facebook, and everywhere in between. You can direct message me. You can message me on any platform, right? And if I don't know the answer, that'll be great way for us to both learn it, right? If I don't know it, then let's go both learn it. And if I can help you in any way, that's what I'm here to do. That's my promise to you. That's my episode. That's what I wanted to get out there today. Great topic on fear, and I don't think it's done. I think that topic is going to get expanded upon, and I'd like to for Andy to do that with me. So maybe Andy and I will put a little phone podcast together, and we'll go over a little bit into more depths and peeling the layers back into what you can do in your situation to make that fear go away and to eradicate it. Folks, thank you very much for listening. Mindset over everything. Mindset Apparel's it's in the store. There'll be a link somewhere. So if you choose, I got to tell you, it's virtually impossible to wear this shirt and not have someone say something about it, first of all, with the big pink braid, but two, to feel like your mindset is the thing that's holding you back, right? Like, I put this on and I'm in that mode. I don't know. That's just me. It's science, right? So at that point, why don't you have one? But hey, to everyone who's got one, thanks. If you haven't, go to the store. We got a 10% off sale, depending on when you're listening to this, going on now through October 31st. For all the first timers, when you go in there, you get 10% off your entire order. Thank you, folks. Mindset of everything. Joe Alsabrook. Check out Fusick. It's on YouTube. Check out Fusick Podcast. For everyone who said I couldn't, man, there's a lot of mind shift changes and challenges there. Thank you, folks. Joe Alsabrook, Mindset of Everything. That's my time. One last thing. Go execute. See you later, guys.